Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of Strictly Works Productions. I am here with Will,
Hello.
Dan,
How you doing?
and David, who has 3 proxies left in the deck.
2 proxies. Hello.
Very nice. And
Why does
today,
David get a story?
When you earn one, you can have a story.
Wait, I have hit it for a second right. Anyway.
yeah, see, that's your story. That's your personality trait.
Hey!
That's your brand.
Ideal. Exact
It's a very
exact
conditioned
numbers.
gimmick that should never work, except maybe once or twice.
And it's worked.
Oh, it's
80
worked
times.
8.
Yeah,
You just see,
a number of times.
cut to me in the asylum, just scraping the number 30
Yeah.
again and again and again.
Why did we put you away? Anyway.
I got put away because I started screaming second rate at the customers when they bought $10 worth of stuff.
Don't say where we were.
You said customers.
I know.
There's a reason I don't work register anymore. Either
Oh,
way.
you mean at...
You mean at this redacted area?
Oh, you mean with Wallace Martinez?
What are we doing today?
Oh, today we're going to be talking about some of our favorite commanders that we're playing right now. We each got a deck picked out that's like our pet deck at the moment, or it's a deck that we've been playing a lot
Or-
for years.
It's a deck that we have a group chat based in, and I said vote for it.
Look, you gave us 3 options. We chose the one that was going to be the best to talk about.
Alright.
Think about it. Your Boros deck is your best deck. That says a
That's
lot
not
about you.
true.
Say that again in an
Yeah,
alley, and we'll
other
handle
great.
this like Magic players.
With a bat in his hand.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I thought we were going to play Modern.
yeah,
Damn
I
it.
was about to say, you said like Magic players.
Oh, we're playing modern, alright, brass knuckles.
Yeah, move
It's a
to
modern
equip.
day duel.
And move to equip.
Grafted war gear, ladies and gentlemen.
I think it's
Anyway.
stifle that equip cost right there.
With what?
This bat.
I was going to say this car. Vroom, vroom.
How you gonna equip with no fingers?
Living is a privilege.
Listen, I will forcefully equip my hood to your face.
All right, you got it.
That sounds like a skull clamp.
All right. Now that we're
Talking about
done,
Commander decks.
yeah, now we're all going to be talking about some of our favorite commanders. Now that we're done talking about vehicular assault,
Yeah.
Homicide, actually.
I would not kill someone with my car.
I don't think they would call it vehicular assault.
But let's talk about a
That
deck
just
that
sounds like
hits like a
attempted
truck
murder.
and gasses you up like a semi. We're going to talk about David Sliver's deck today.
Oh, God. All right, folks. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Slivers is the best deck. I will kill everyone on this hill. I won't die on this hill. I will kill everyone on this hill.
David
With my
will stand.
first sliver, which I will now read out loud. First sliver, Continental colors. So one of each color. Cascade. That's it. That's the card.
That's the whole thing.
No. When you cast this spell, exile cards from top of your library until you exile a non-land card that costs less, and then I can cast that without paying its mana cost, and then put everything else on the bottom in a random order. But the real gimmick is all sliver spells I cast have Cascade. Unfortunately, that only really goes into effect the turn after, or once it resolves and it's on the field. So I can't just get like 4 random cards off the first sliver. I have to cast more after that, but that's okay. Because there's lots of ways to ramp up mana. I have a Mana Echoes, I have a Sunbird's Invocation. Let's see, what else do I got? The real combo of this deck, though, is to put in, and this was inspired by my darling Everett over here.
Hi.
Because he first built me a sliver deck, and I was like, I'm going to take this and run with it. And I did.
I made a mistake.
Oh, you did.
Like anyone that's ever introduced their friend to Slivers, you made a mistake.
Oh, he definitely did. Because the main combo, and it's actually an infinite combo, is to bring out Sliver Queen, Vassal Sliver, and then either get a Training Ground or a Hearthstone, because that'll just bring down the other costs. But the Sliver Queen, you pay 2, create a 1/1 Sliver creature token. Vassal Sliver, all slivers have sacrifice this creature, add 2 black mana to my mana pool. And then once you have that Training Ground or Hearthstone, which brings down the activation costs by 1 or 2 respectively. Oh.
I don't know why, when we decided this topic, I didn't immediately think, oh yeah, David's going to talk about slivers, because I don't know why that didn't click instantly for me.
I don't know, that was like the entire idea behind it. Like, man, okay, where David's going to talk about Slivers first.
Yes.
Who's the
And
rest
that-
of us going to talk about?
Well, no, that's what, just to get it out of the way, because it'll
Oh.
just infect the rest of the board state.
You bet it would.
Mind you,
Is that
David,
what the podcast
Yes, Everett.
is a board state?
your Slivers deck does have like a very unique feature to it. You do not run any instants and sorceries. Why is that?
Well, I do have 1 sorcery. This was also inspired by Everett.
Must be
It's-
good or something. It's only one.
It is. It's great, especially if it resolves, and it's fantastic. It's Primal Surge.
What does Primal Surge do?
I'll tell you
glad you
what it
asked.
does. I'm so glad you asked.
No, really, what does it do? Never seen a card.
Yes, you have. This one, I played it before.
No, I haven't.
Oh.
Acting.
pretty.
We're actors right now.
If you say that again, I'm leaving this podcast.
Jaeger!
Primal Surge for 8 and 2 green mana. Sorcery. Exile the top card of your library. If it's a permanent card, you may put it on the battlefield. If you do, repeat this process. Oh.
Your deck goes plop.
Yes. I take my deck, I pick it up, I say, this is a very nice weight for all 90 of my cards. Onto the battlefield. And then I say, who wants some? And then there's other
wants
win
some,
combos
wants
in
some.
here, such as my Altar of the Brood, a 1-mana artifact that says, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, each opponent mills 1. And then I also have Leyline of the Void in here. When a card goes into a graveyard, exile it instead.
Yeah, it's like Rest in Peace, but it's not.
Yes.
Great.
Lots of
You get it
wombo
for free.
combos. I do get it for I get everything for free. All I have to do is just pay that one-time price of 10 mana
I hope it resolves.
and hope it resolves. If not, I'll just have to punch you in the face.
Also, it looks like this is also a Guildgate deck.
It is a Guildgate deck. I'm glad you asked.
You didn't ask anything.
I made an observation. David's like, yes, it is. I do win with this win
David,
con.
Everett made a statement, and David said, "Good question."
No, I ever
Works
made a
for
statement.
me.
I said I have the answer to that statement.
That's
Yeah, like I said earlier, I took it and I ran with it. Just like I'll do with a wad of cash that I'll find on the side of a road. I'll take it and I'll run with it.
David's our moral high ground on this podcast, as you can see.
All right.
Believe it.
That being said, we're going to segue into another 5-color deck. Najila Party.
It's almost like our format's stale. What happened?
What?
Huh?
Continental.
So Najila, for all of you those at home that don't know, Najila for 2 and a red is a human warrior, a 3/2 that whenever a warrior, and she says, whenever a warrior attacks, she may have its controller create a 1/1 warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking. For Wooburg, which is a white, blue, black, red, and green, untap all attacking creatures. They gain trample, lifelink, haste until end of turn. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Activate this only during combat.
Is that what Wooburg means?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Do you know what Wolverine?
I just watched the stars align in front of David's head as he just did 2 + 2
Yeah,
equals 4.
David's
Unleash the
wheel started turning.
Titans! We need a Hercules.
We need a hark.
So, the entire idea behind this deck is basically you're going to make all the crappy party cards from Zendikar good.
Wait a minute. How dare
Yeah.
you?
You're just
dare you.
realizing this?
No, that you called party crappy. You bastard.
It's a really gimmicky mechanic. You
Yes.
can't take that away from me.
And so was Dredge, but here we are. Continue with the
These
deck
are
tech.
brave
We'll have-
words.
Yeah, we'll have this discussion later.
Yeah, we'll have this discussion later when we say which
Over a
gets
game of
banned
magic.
in Modern.
How we resolve our conflicts.
Now, if you're sitting there at home wondering what is party, because I guess the year is now 2025 and party's been forgotten. Party is when you have 4 creatures of the following types.
When are we uploading this?
A warrior, a wizard, a cleric, a rogue. I'm just
5 years
assuming
ago.
that one day someone's going to find like our 100th episode in 5 years and be like, oh, these guys made a podcast.
It's going to be the person who texted me about my Akiri deck.
Him and other group chat. I need to build a sucky deck. Hey, Will, how's the Akiri deck going?
Well, we're calling him out live on the podcast.
Who is it?
We didn't say the name. We're not going to say the name.
Oh yeah, it's
But yeah.
Was it
So
Lennon?
literally you're just trying to get to this entire assemblage of creatures that make a party.
yeah,
And then once you have the party, it makes your spells cost less. So you have stuff like Spoils of Adventure, which I'll be honest is the biggest reason why I wanted to build this, because I just want to cast Ancestral Visions or Ancestral Recall.
Really?
Yes.
That's why you did this to all of us.
I have a foil one. Look how shiny it
Okay.
is.
This is a great visual medium, a podcast.
I will add in a clip of me just waving the shiny card over
I
the
don't
audio.
believe you.
But so Spoils of Adventure is for 4 a white and a blue. You gain 3 life and draw 3 cards.
Yes.
Party. For every creature in your party, it costs 1 less. So you can get it as close to an Ancestral Recall as possible, the more creatures you have. And when you sit there and think to yourself, what good clerics are there? You are correct. There's a lot of really bad clerics out there.
Where did clerics come? Oh, right, party.
Because a cleric is part of the party.
Yeah.
But you also have a lot of good rogues, which there is one that just got printed in Commander Legends, which we will be talking about that next episode. But
Okay.
I would disagree. I think Cleric is probably my favorite party member in the Magic set. Because rogues, they are nice and everything. Straight up warriors suck.
Wizards.
I'm looking at this copy of Dranth
Fair.
Magistrate
Yeah.
that disagrees.
Excuse you. Morag would like to disagree.
What?
Yeah, I got Morag in the deck too. Extra combat steps disagree with you.
Also, wizards are fantastic.
Yeah, wizards are amazing.
I feel like Morag, we're not understanding something about Morag, though.
What?
So-
Because
Just
I've
what?
tried to play him in Arena before, and his triggers didn't resolve.
You cannot compare Arena,
To paper magic.
Paper magic.
where we
Paper
have
Magic, we have 4 people that actually know how to play the game. Arena has a monkey type encoded and it makes it crash every 2 weeks.
He does not speak for the rest of us. I don't want to get banned
You're
off
not.
Arena.
Yeah, relax. We're not the Lorex, and you're not the trees.
Yeah.
But no, so you do have your clerics, which right now I'm running Tashar Ancestors Apostle, Aelie Eternal Pilgrim, and Angel of Destiny as the clerics. Rogues, until I get that one black rogue that we're going to talk about next week in the podcast, that basically says your tutoring doesn't matter anymore.
Oh yeah.
Instead, we have Nimble
Maybe Shadow's in
Trapfinder,
the top
which
4.
is a really good card. It says Nimble Trapfinder can't be blocked if you had another cleric, rogue, warrior, or wizard enter the battlefield under your control this turn, which means, once again, the party matters. And at the beginning of your combat on your turn, if you have full party, creatures you control gain whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card until end of turn.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Especially when you combo that with Teferi's Ageless Insight.
Okay.
Which, if you're asking, why are you playing this card? Well, it's a great card. You should play it. Who doesn't want to draw 6 cards off of Spoils of Adventure?
If somebody's asking you why are you playing this card, they have the problem.
Yes. On top of that, though, you also get wizards, which David was saying there's terrible wizards. No, you get stuff like Dranth Magistrate, which says your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. What this means, this hits the battlefield, your commanders stay in the command zone. Marin, you stay. Akiri, you stay. Silver Hive Lord, you stay right there. No Cascade.
Ever really like spoiling all our commanders before we talk about them?
Hive Lord's in my deck. Do you mean the
Who was
first
talking
sliver?
about Marin?
No one's talking about Marin, but still.
You
Oh
won't,
no, my Marin, and I'm not playing.
You won't let
my
me
off colors.
all right? Way back in the day. Oh, I wanted to cast Leovold. If this thing was there, no, you can't cast Leovold.
Oh my god, it answers Leopold. It doesn't answer Leopold.
No, it does not
No,
at
it
all.
does not answer Leopold.
But you also get stuff like
No.
Linvala, Shield of the Seagate. Well, this is a card you like.
Oh, I
like
do
this
like
card.
Linvala.
I built a
too.
brawl deck around it in Arena.
Me too.
Because it has 2 lines of text. One is at the beginning of your turn, if you have a full party, you detain something.
Yes.
Which detaining means it can't activate its abilities and it can't attack or block.
Yes. It's like a better pacifism
Yes.
for a turn.
It also has the ability of sacrifice Linvala, you choose Hexproof for an indestructible creature and you'll gain that ability. So if you're going in for that final swing and your opponent's like, I have all these blockers, it doesn't matter how many blockers you have, you're going to go down. And that's pretty much it for this deck. You also have some neat tricks that you get Mass Hysteria, which allows everything to have haste. When you go for that second combat step, everything swings in again. You have Thwart the Grave, which is a double reanimate when you have stuff in your party. And then if you're really going to be that person, which I encourage you to do, play Westphal Abbey. Your opponents will never see it coming. You just play this colorless land, everyone ignores it all game, you get 5 tokens. Next thing you know, you have a 9/7 with flying, indestructible, haste, and lifelink that is just soaring into crash and beat people down.
Yeah. I
Speaking-
got nothing to say about this deck.
All right.
Spell Abbey is so good.
Please take the hat off.
What hat?
You're polluting the
I
audio.
don't know what you're talking about.
Oh god. But yeah.
It's a pretty fun deck, honestly.
Yes, it's not terrible.
Now, speaking of beating people down, Will,
Hi. Today's deck I'm going to be talking about is my red-white equipment deck, and I like this deck a lot. First thing that you should know is that it's a partner combo. It used to be Bruce Tarl was the partner, but he's not anymore because the first partner I'm going to talk to you about is Akiri Lineslinger, which is a red and a white for an 0/3 with first strike and vigilance, and gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control, and it has partner.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Who do you partner with?
So
it used to be Bruce, but Bruce shaved his mustache and looks weird now.
It used to be Bruce, but now he's a different race for some reason, and a different occupation, and doesn't have a mustache. So every,
color.
and yeah,
Also, its name's not Bruce.
yeah. Also, his name's not Bruce. It's not Bruce. I kidnapped him.
You're Bruce now. Who are you?
Yeah. So you heard Everett talking about the set called Commander Legends earlier. Well, here's one from that set. It is Arden, Intrepid Archaeologist.
Ah,
Yes, it is 2 and a white for a legendary core scout. With at the beginning of your combat on your turn, you can attach any number of auras and equipment you control to target permanent or player, and it has partner. So, Yeah.
That's a really
in
fast
like
punch.
in like 5 days, while they were spoiling Commander Legends, Akiri got like 15 different partners that you can pair with, and this was my favorite one that they spoiled because it actually like does stuff for my deck. But yeah, this set is very heavy equipment based. It runs equipment like Sword of War and Peace. I still need to put the other swords in here, but that's besides the point because I really like Sword of War and Peace. It runs Embercleave, which is 4 red for an equipment. It says destroy standard. I'm sorry, it says this costs 1 less cash for each
Did you
second
say
creature.
destroy standard?
No, I
Standard's
didn't.
not irrelevant.
You're mishearing.
Standard
This
is
is a
irrelevant.
standard podcast.
Yeah. Get
When it
that
enters-
crap out of here. This is fun. Not
Why
boring.
can't you just not be antagonistic to every other format? Cost 1 less to cast for each attacking creature you control. It has flash, and when it enters the battlefield, you can equip it immediately. An equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has double strike and trample. Another big equipment in this deck is called Godsend, which you might remember. It's from the best plane in the multiverse. It is 1 white for a legendary artifact equipment that gives equipped creature +3/+3. And when equipped creature becomes blocked or blocks a creature, you exile that creature.
That's not from Innistrad.
The best plane? Do you mean Strixhaven?
That one that we haven't gone to yet. It also says opponents can't cast cards with the same name as cards exiled with Godsend, and it equips for 3 generic.
So, useless in Singleton, but in Standard.
Well, actually,
I don't believe it.
if you get people who play the same card as another and you exile one of their creatures, the opponent can't cast it anyway.
This is why I won't build rats.
Yes.
Thank God I'm playing Slivers.
But you might be
building
asking
rats.
yourself, what good is equipment? I don't understand. You're in Boros. This commander is bad. And to you, I say go away.
To you I say, stab.
To you, I say Godsend. A big payload in this deck is also a card called Heavenly Blade Master, which is 5 and a white for a 3/6 with flying and double strike. When it enters the battlefield, you may attach any number of ores and equipment you control to it, and other creatures you control get +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to Heavenly Blade Master. This card went under everyone's radar, in my opinion. This card's amazing in this deck, especially the equipment that give it haste, because then it's just like, well, this was a fun game of Magic, but yeah, this card's great, especially when you have Godsend and Embercleave on the battlefield. You might be asking yourself, well, what is the benefit to playing equipment? It's just punching and people can stop that. Well, sure, but
But let me tell you this.
let me tell you this.
You've never been the dirtily Orzhov player at the table getting punched by the Boros player.
That, and also, you have some really great payloads for every equipment you play. Like a brand new card they printed, Akiri, Fearless Voyager. It's 1 red-white for a 3/3 core warrior. And whenever you attack a player with 1 or more equipped creatures, draw a card. And it has, for a white, you may unattach an equipment from a creature you control, tap that creature, and if you do, it gains indestructible. This card was just printed, and it's already doing work in this deck. It's amazing. It's also Akiri 2, but the first Akiri has partner, so that's why it's still there, and it's also just kind of better than this Akiri, in my opinion.
Well, Will, I have
Yeah,
a question.
sure.
What if I were to play an Agent of Treachery? And then steal, I'm assuming you're going to have all the equipment on Akiri, and then just steal your Akiri.
Well, you see,
Yes.
I can still unequip all that equipment because I still own the equipment.
Okay.
This wasn't a joke. David just caught me on the blind side. But anyway,
He's gonna steal a Kiri.
yeah, he's
gonna
gonna
wake up
steal
and-
Akiri.
He's gonna wake up the next morning and
David, I have a question. Do you play Agent of
Yeah.
Treachery in your Slivers deck?
Not in my Slivers deck, in my Brago deck.
Oh,
Which
which
we're
we're
talking about
which is
another
a commander
time.
we're not
Yeah.
talking about right
Yeah. But anyway, another card that you might be familiar with is Modern Banned and then Unbanned Stoneforge Mystic. For 1 and a white, it's a 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, tutor an equipment, and for 1 and a white, you can tap it to equip or to put an equipment from your hand onto the battlefield. This card's also amazing.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
It was never actually banned. It just existed on the ban list from the very beginning.
Oh, really?
They just ported over the extended ban list, said this is too powerful for modern, and put it there.
That's funny.
Huh.
And it was unbanned, and everyone was like, no! But it's like, wait a second.
It's just D&T playable, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Like, it made Snowblade a thing, but that's it.
Yeah, but we don't talk about Modern on this podcast. So, Pure Steel
Modern's
Paladin. Pure Steel Paladin is I should slow down, because these two cards are probably the 2 best cards in this deck.
They're
It's,
twins.
It's Pure Steel Paladin's first. White for a 2/2 human knight. Whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you can draw a card. And then it has Metalcraft. Equipment you control have equipped 0 as long as you control 3 more artifacts, which happens often in this deck. So this card's probably the best card in this deck. More than likely. it's also just pretty. I just like the art on it a lot. It's a man who just found all these pieces and was like, I am a knight now. I would have you
Kinda
draw
cool.
cards.
It sounds
Also,
like
in these colors, you need all the draw power you can get, which brings me to Pure Steel Paladin 2 Electric Boogaloo. It's SRAM, Senior Edificer. 1 and a white for a 2/2 Legendary Dwarf Advisor. Whenever you cast an aura, equipment, or vehicle card, draw a card. It's literally just the first half of Pure Steel Paladin, but it has vehicles and auras matter too. They don't matter in this deck, but it's still cool. But
Was this a vehicles deck at one point?
it was, and then I made it good. Yeah, I learned quickly that equipment is probably just the better way to go in these colors, and so far my test results prove true on that. Anyone else have anything to say about that?
Don't let the Akiri hit the table for too long. You will regret it. You're sitting there thinking to yourself, it's a 0/3. What's it going to do to me? Yeah, it has first strike. Yeah, it's going to attack, but it's not going to deal that much damage.
All we gotta do
And then
is
it's
just
hitting you for
have-
21 because it's Sword of War and Peace, and you have 7 cards that you haven't had a chance to play in hand.
And then you're dead because commander damage.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about
But yeah, that's the deck. General thing is kill people with commander damage, and also I cannot recommend Arden enough for this kind of strategy. He's been incredible in this kind of deck, and it's just been really fun having another commander that isn't Bruce, because Bruce is cool, but he just never did anything, really, in my opinion.
Well, it didn't stick around long enough. Usually we'd
That's
see Bruce, we'd see Akiri, and then we'd see Bruce, and then there'd be a board wipe.
Yeah, and
And
now
then-
I get to see Akiri and then Arden, and then there will be a board wipe now.
Damn right.
Changing it up. But yeah, deck's fun. Can't recommend equipment enough in these colors. It works well. And yeah, this is my favorite deck that I'm working on right now. I just got to get the other swords in this deck, and it'll be pretty good.
I like it.
And then our last deck of the evening is a deck that's going to, after you've died, resurrect you for its own benefit.
Yeah, I get to talk about Orzhov.
Oh, good.
I play the partner pairing. We've talked about that before.
Hey.
Of Krav the Unredeemed and Regna the Redeemer. So, Krav is 4 and a black, a legendary demon that is partnered with Ragna. And for 1 black, I can sack X creatures, target player draws X cards and gain X life, and then I get to put X 1/1 counters on Krav. And Ragna is a flying 4/4 angel for 5 and a white. At the beginning of each end step, if your team gains life this turn, you can create 2 1/1 white warrior creature tokens. So I get to flood the board with a bunch of tokens, and since I'm playing black, get to have a bunch of triggers when I kill them all. Yay! That's fun.
It is like the best fun in the world. What are you talking about?
So I get to play things like Vampiric Rites or Witch's Cauldron, which lets me sack a creature, gain a life, draw a card for 1 and a black. I get to play Blood Artists and Tetulpa Cutthroat, which are cards that, obviously, when creatures die, I get to ping people for 1, and I gain 1. Every time something dies, I get to play an Extractor Demon, which allows me to mill people. And when you have 1,000 tokens, the people don't play 2,000 card decks.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way.
Also, I get to play things like Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord, which gets all my little 1/1s lifelink. I get to swing and just constantly gain life. I can bring back all of my little things if I give them enough loyalty. Liliana is always pretty good too, because every time I kill one of my own tokens for any benefit, I get to draw a card for her, and if she sticks around long enough, I can just kind of make everyone sack a lot of things. And it's always fun, because she doesn't like only having 1 land, 1 creature, 1 enchantment, 1 artifact.
Jesus.
So much fun.
And you're trying to get Divine Visitation into that deck?
Yeah, don't you know? I can make all my little 1/1 warriors into 4/4 angels.
He's trying to get that cool visit.
You should also get Bishop of Wings then.
What does that one do?
Every time an angel enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. And then whenever an angel dies, you
make a
create
spirit.
a 1/1 spirit. But with that Divine Visitation, that spirit turns into
An
another
angel.
angel.
Yeah.
It's an infinite loop of
Poopy.
It's an infinite loop of madness.
And because I have so much life, I get to play everyone's favorite card, Bolus Citadel. Yeah, because who doesn't like always looking at the top of your library and saying, alright, cool, I cast Emrakul for 10 life?
It's fun. It's a fun format.
That's fun, fair balance magic right there.
And don't you know, death triggers, because Bolus Citadel says I can tap it, sack 10 non-land permanents, and each opponent loses 10 life. That's always fun.
So I'm going to lose 10 life and mill 20 cards.
Yeah, you know, something easy. And then have my favorite card, Fireats Ix.
Oh God.
Yeah. just
Not Phyresis.
yeah, just give something infect and just kill someone with this 10-10 crowd that you've been building up since we started this game.
yeah.
No one was paying attention.
Infect.
Yeah, you're right. No one was paying attention. The Akiri player was running around swinging a knife. I'm sitting
That's
here
literally
counting
what
up
this deck
creature
is.
What do you
types. and
have
just-
there? A knife! No!
A godsend.
No!
And then if things get hairy, just double your life total with revenge. And have someone else's life total.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't like going from 100 to 200?
When did we get to these high numbers?
Oh, yeah,
Zero
don't
to
worry.
hero.
After you're dead and out of the game.
Yeah, after you're dead out of the game, I
that's
don't have to worry about blocking a stupid Sword of War and Peace because half my deck is white.
Sword
That
of,
deck's annoying.
Sword of War, for those who don't know, is a sword that gives you protection from white and from red.
Yeah.
When it deals combat damage to a player, it deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand, and then you gain life equal to the amount of cards in your hand. The
Yeah.
life gain matters not at all.
I get hit for 7 because I have cards in my hand, and that's not nice.
I've gotten hit for 20 with the damn thing. I was like, Teferi Angel Sensei, I'll draw all the cards.
And
And I went, yeah, you will.
And that's
Combat.
how we merciless eviction say artifacts.
Yep. Or creatures.
Or creatures.
Or creatures.
Or whatever is needed at the present moment.
Or Kaya's Guile. And just exile the graveyard.
See, you don't exile the graveyard, because sometimes they want to reanimate their commander out of the graveyard.
Yeah, you're right. Like a certain someone when he forgot and left it there.
What's the name? I'm trying to think of a name of a card. It's a red card. It's a pig with indestructible, and whenever it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target creature or player.
Are you sure?
I don't think it's a pig, I think it's a goblin.
Oh shit! It is a goblin. The
Are
art
you
is
talking
colored-
about the guy who's like, it's a red goblin? He's like,
Yes.
this? Oh, it was printed in M21. It was Loading Ready Run's preview card, and I can't remember
Yes.
it now. Can't remember the name.
Ah, yes, marketing.
Goblin Thrasher.
No.
It's not Instigator.
Because I'm pretty sure it's a rogue, and that'd
I
actually
think
be
it
nice
is
in your
good.
deck, Everett.
You might be right, might be instigated.
Honestly, I could probably play that in this deck and put a Blasphemous Act in there.
I'll hurt you.
I thought it was just a.
Despite me talking about Orzhov, red is my favorite color.
Yeah. And goblins.
Look,
And rogue goblins.
to be fair, this episode really surprised all of us. Is I'm the one sitting here with this mono red commander that's just a 5-color commander in disguise.
Fresh Taunter, by the way. It's just a goblin.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a pig.
It kind of does with the nose.
I was about
Is
to say, I
it?
assume
Is it
it's
a
nose.
party? Is it a party card?
It's a goblin.
Is it a rogue?
No, it's not a
It's a
rogue.
Oh, it's a
goblin.
straight goblin.
Oh, we were just moving to
Yeah.
the cheat step right there.
Yeah. No, this is the goblin rogue. But this is
That's
not good
not
enough
the
deck.
one I was
No.
thinking of.
No.
All right, that all said and done, I believe it's time for us to sign off for this week's episode.
I'm just gonna say one more thing. Dan, I see you're playing Planeswalkers. It'd be a shame if I played the Immortal Sun.
We're getting very antagonistic now. You did this to us.
This
It's
is
gonna be sad when I merciless eviction.
yeah, but see, well, this is the quality content part of this. We get to watch them fight now.
Yeah, but
watching
now they
us
can watch
fight.
us fight. Watch Hitotsuko second right.
You know, I've been sitting here thinking to myself, man, I forgot to pick up my order from the comic book store.
Yeah, so
Yay, did.
Okay. Now let's sign off before somebody
Yeah.
slaps somebody.
Yeah, we always slap each other with our cards,
the
not with our
chair.
fists.
my God!
Where'd you get that bat from?
All right, so with that, Will, where can people find you on the internets?
Hi, they can find me on Instagram at Wilbo132.
Dan?
You can find me on Twitter at the Big Black Otaku.
David?
Any and all social medias at Flaminit. FLM. Oh wait, I just spelled it wrong.
FLAMINIT.
Yes. I'm pretty.
Yes, you are.
This is a visual medium.
Or on fanfiction at The Guardian 1412.
Or at Octodon at octodon.atom. No.
Or
And I'm Ev, and you can find me at Ev the Mage on Twitter or at the Ev the Mage YouTube channel.
I thought it was Ev the Mage 97.
Oh yeah, Ev the Mage 97 on Twitter. Either way, we'll see you
Man,
guys
can't
in the
even
next
host it.
episode.